In this chapter, we are learning about the four main intonations in English. In the previous episode, we learned about the first intonation, the falling intonation. Now, we will learn about the next type, the rising intonation. We'll firstly learn about the functions of the falling intonation, and secondly, we'll discuss where we can use it. So, let's get started. The rising intonation has three main functions. Firstly, the rising intonation is essentially the opposite of the falling intonation, because instead of sounding certain about what the speaker is saying, the rising intonation suggests that the speaker is unsure about what he or she is saying. Therefore, this type of intonation can also show the attitude of the speaker. Here is an example. If the speaker says, "I'm going now," it means that he or she isn't confident about going. Maybe he or she doesn't want to go and is hoping that the listener will tell him or her that he or she doesn't need to go. It has the same meaning as, "I really don't want to go, but I suppose I must." Secondly, the rising intonation suggests that the topic of the conversation, or in other words, what the speaker is talking about, is not complete. For example, if we learn more about how to breathe, we will be better singers. The meaning of this sentence is that we are not yet the best singers, so we can still improve our singing. This is why the rising intonation starts on more, because this shows that the process of becoming the best singer is not complete. Finally, it can also be polite to use the rising intonation. For example, it is more polite to say, "Sit down," than "Sit down." You would use the rising intonation when inviting someone you respect to sit, whereas you would use the falling intonation when it is a command, perhaps when talking to a criminal or a naughty child. Also, we often use the rising intonation when answering the phone, because it feels more polite. So, English speakers say, "Hello?" not "Hello," only when answering the phone. It's also the same in Chinese. When answering the phone, Chinese speakers say, "Wei?" Actually, the tone of this word is falling, but when using it to answer the phone, Chinese speakers use a rising intonation. So this is a good example of intonation being used in a tone language. Let's now learn about where we can use the rising intonation. Firstly, it can be used in questions that can be answered with yes or no. These are called yes-no questions. For example, "Can I help you?" "Yes." "Do you know where the library is?" "Do you need to study tonight?" "I'm afraid so." Secondly, the rising intonation can be used in sentences which look like normal statements, but are actually questions. For example, "They are going to the park?" "I thought they were going to the mall." "Yes, they are definitely going to the park." In A's first sentence, the grammar is "they are," not "are they." So, it looks like a normal statement. However, the rising intonation at the end shows that the speaker is unsure about whether this is true. And this is confirmed in A's second sentence, where he or she says that he or she thought they were going to the mall. Next, the rising intonation can be used in statements where the speaker wants to be soothing or encouraging. For example, you could say, "You'll be great," to someone who is about to give a performance and is feeling nervous. Also, you could say, "Come on," when giving someone encouragement to do or finish something. Fourthly, the rising intonation can be used when a short sentence is added to the end of a sentence, but the rising intonation is only used when the speaker is not confident that he or she is correct. For example, "Your name is James, isn't it?" In this situation, the speaker genuinely does not know the answer to the question, and so he or she is asking a genuine question. However, if the falling intonation is used in the same sentence, "Your name is James, isn't it?" it means that the speaker already knows the answer and just wants confirmation. Finally, it can be used in echo questions. This type of question happens when the speaker repeats something that was already said in the conversation. It can be used when the listener is surprised or confused about what the speaker said and wants the speaker to confirm it. For example, "What time did you come home last night?" 2 a.m. "What time?" Another reason to use an echo question is when the listener is thinking about what to say and needs more time before answering. Instead of saying nothing and being silent, the listener says the word that he or she is thinking about. For example, "Do we have any fruit at home?" "Fruit? No, I don't think so. We should go to the supermarket on the way home." Before we do some exercises, please answer these questions. Here are the answers. Now, let's do some exercises. In our first activity, I will say 10 sentences, which you will also see on the screen. In each sentence, decide where you would put the up arrow. In other words, put the up arrow before the syllable whose pitch goes up. Here we go. 1. Are you hungry? 2. Are they new here? 3. Would you like some? 4. Can I sit here? 5. Are they coming? 6. Were they late last night? 7. Do you work for the news? 8. Do you work in the evening? 9. Did he talk to you about it? 10. Did I hear you correctly? Here are the answers. In our final activity, you will hear 10 questions and answers. In the question only, decide where you would put the up arrow. Here we go. 1. Is Gloria coming tonight? I'm not sure. 2. Is there anything special? It's a large party. 3. Is it somebody's birthday? It's a housewarming. 4. Will we need to bring something? A bottle of wine will do. 5. Do we need a big cake? That would be great. 6. Are we going to play some light music? Of course. 7. Are you going to cook by yourself? I'll buy most of the food. 8. Do you need any help? I would appreciate it. 9. Will the party start at 7? 7:15. 10. Can I come at about 5? Let's make it 6. Here are the answers. This is the end of episode 3 in chapter 3. Thank you for watching.